As metal fans, we all know that this music is full of legends, but of course we also know that there's a lot of unsung heroes in metal music. And for me, and a lot of fans of underground metal, Luc Lemay, the founder and leader of GORGUTS, is one of those unsung heroes. Here's a guy that went from being the founder of a brutal death metal band to being a full-fledged composer. And so here's Luc on how he got his start in music.
Everybody happy? Comfortable? I wasn't asking you. Finally, we get to do an interview.
This is great.
I started listening to GORGUTS in 91.
Okay.
So
Those are high school years?
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Cassette?
Considered Dead on cassette.
Yeah.
And Edge of Sanity on cassette. Still somewhere. Let's start something very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us your name, a little bit on and where you're from.
My name is Luc Lemay. I grew up in a very small town called Danville village. Maybe 3,000 people. Music at home. Dad on Sundays taking out the music sheet box, playing some Johnny Cash,
Right.
and the Elvis. No Beatles at home though.
Right.
And my mom was a lot into, French music, more French singers.
Right.
And always been into music, I got the first guitar in grade 2. So that was my first show actually. I couldn't remember the song, but anyway, perform a little solo thing in grade 2, at the primary school. So that's it, but always into music, always. Piano lesson, maybe around 10, 12 to first year of high school. And then electric guitar came in the picture in third year of high school. Grade 6, I really remember 1994, Van Halen. I love that record so much, And I was even more into the synth stuff than the actual guitar work,
Right.
But I was really, interested in melodies and stroke. I think with a step back, maybe it's more like the melody line that stroked me more than a guitar hero being in the picture.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
How did heavy music change things for you? What did you get out of that music that you hadn't got out of the music you listened to as a kid?
First time you hear Possessed, Seven Churches, hello. You can't go back with your Iron Maiden. This is lame. No, like my Peace of Mind and Power Slave for sure. These are my best Maiden record ever, and never listened to them much after that. But Seven Churches was the big deal. And then, of course, when Scream Bloody Gore came in the picture, that was like the perfect continuum, to this aesthetic. So,
Tell me the story of attending the music conservatory and how that played into your development.
I always loved classical music. As a kid, I would listen to Sorcerer's Apprentice from Duca, and then the movie Amadeus had a huge impact on me. So in '93, right after Erosion came out, I decided to learn violin because I would listen to Vivaldi a lot, and I love Baroque music. And we had a violin sitting at the family home. So called my dad, hey, we still have this violin? Yeah. Can I have it? No problem. So he brought it to me, and I started taking lesson and got really interested in string instruments. So I started playing violin. I was going to the college in Sherbrooke, not being a student there, but just sneak in the music department to see scores. And I would Xerox some of those and coming back home. And I was looking at some Schubert, like Death and the Maiden, string quartet. And I'm like, how can they play different lines and it just sound perfect and all? So I got very obsessed and curious about this. And in '95, we decided to move the band to Montreal. And I remember I didn't have a car back then. I would hitchhike here. And first thing, even before going in the neighborhood to look for an apartment, I would go at the UQAM, Université du Québec à Montréal, find their music department, and they got so much music here.
And then eventually you made your way to the
Then
conservatory.
moving here,
Right.
You know, went to college in Outremont for 1 year, studied viola there, and already at Christmas break, I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to keep playing violin. I mean, I really want to learn composition, because there was a nun institution associated to this private college, and she was a composer. So she taught me 2 voices counterpoint, harmony, 4-voice harmony. So when I got admitted here at the conservatory, I did my admission and everything. I showed them a string quartet that I wrote it by myself. I mean, today it's like, but the ambition was there.
Tell me how this new knowledge you were gaining by exposing yourself to classical music and your experience here, how that shaped your approach to metal.
Even if you have the best riff, if it's in a bad context and badly arranged, it's not gonna work. So it really, really changed my my ear for arrangement. So it brought this attention to detail, and it made me writing metal song more orchestrated, because having worked orchestration on paper, like a drawing, oh, here, oh, maybe it's quiet here, what about here? So you have this detail in your mind, even whatever you play after. It's kind of second nature.
Right.
So.
And the fact that you even did this, that you brought this classical experience, death metal, and put them together, I think to the average person is unthinkable.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, why can they work together?
Because music is music. That's a bad habit to see, a misconception to see, oh, this is country music, this is classical music, this is metal music. Oh, metal music could never be as good as... No, a music thought is a music thought. I mean, whatever story you want to write, you're going to start with words and whatever. So themes are themes, like word is a word in a story. You can tell the story you want after. It's a matter of aesthetic after, okay, we're going to play electric or instead of playing with strings or whatever. Even me in the 90s, I would see those things very differently, but by studying them, you start to see music as a language, period. And after, it's a matter of orchestration or choosing the instrumentarium that you want. I'm happy with a step back, having chose death metal in a way to express myself as an artist, because I feel that death metal, amongst all the kind of metal, power metal, thrash metal, anyway.
Yep.
You're the man to understand all those styles. So I think death metal is the one that has the widest spectrum, that any kind, even the weirdest idea could be welcome if it's placed in the picture with taste and smart arranging, I think. And you can do whatever you want in this style. That's what I like.